What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Station Show. We're going to be talking to you about movies and video games today. I'm your host, Price, and I'm here with two of my good friends.
Greyson Hammock.
And
I am Charles. I'm also here. I'm very excited.
Yeah, it should be a fun time. So, this is our first episode. This is basically going to be a, hopefully weekly, if not bi-weekly, show. We're just going to talk to you about recent movie news, movies we've seen. We'll also touch up on video games, because those are really the two things that we really enjoy.
True.
So, I guess let's go get started with some movie news that came out over this Christmas break. It's been a little bit light.
Yeah, there hasn't been a lot of big stuff. Well,
if you don't count,
giant
releases.
Okay, Star Wars made an insane amount of money.
Yeah,
it's insane. But anyway, so I think the first thing we can talk about is on Christmas Day, 20th Century Fox released the newest trailer for the upcoming movie Deadpool, which I believe comes out sometime in February. But we've all had a chance to see that new trailer, and so why don't we just talk about what we thought about it.
Well, my thoughts about the Deadpool movie, I think it looks hilarious, to be honest. I mean, I understand that Deadpool's kind of the thing that, like, tween-age fans sort of buy the snapbacks for, and they're all like, Deadpool's my favorite superhero, bro.
He's risky.
He's edgy. He's got the good edge. But the thing is, the movie actually looks like it's going to represent the character really well.
Yeah.
I'm just worried about the kids that, like, know Deadpool from, like, maybe the Spider-Man TV show or maybe video games.
Yeah.
And they're going to be like, Mommy, I want to go see the Deadpool movie. Ha, ha, ha. And their mom's going to be like, sounds great. And she's going to watch the trailer and she's going to be like, oh no.
Well, I mean, the movie is
Rated
confirmed
R?
rated R.
Yeah.
So, I mean...
Which is good for Deadpool.
Which is good for Deadpool. The thing is, a lot of people have been wondering if, this is a rated R superhero movie. Is it going to be... Yeah, I mean, really the last big one that did that was Watchmen, and while it did alright financially, not fantastic.
That's the one with, like, the blue penis.
Documentary. Yeah,
Oh my goodness, that movie.
It's almost too faithful to the graphic novel. But anyway, with Deadpool, a lot of people were worried about it because they're like, how are they going to market this thing? It's rated, and then the marketing's been fantastic. So I think it's been really good. And it comes out February 12th, 2016.
Wait, that soon?
Yeah,
that's like 3 days before Street Fighter.
Yeah, Street Fighter 5.
It's 4 part 5.
Excuse me.
That would not surprise me one bit. If they have the big V logo, and then like one of the slants of the V just drifts off to the side, and it's a 4, and there's like a little point there, 4.5.
Yeah, but I think I think a lot of us were really excited about Ryan Reynolds coming back.
Yeah,
because he got
gypped, like,
he got
real hard.
so gypped
in the.
If you haven't seen that movie, don't. Orange Wolverine. No, yes. Okay, I take that back.
I mean, I wouldn't spend money on it.
If you see it on cable. If you see it on cable, watch
on demand.
They show it on FX like all the time. But
great.
My FX doesn't have sound. Thanks, WoW.
So we're all pretty excited for the new movie. But because a lot of people I don't think actually read the comics, because Deadpool is really a very violent, very vulgar comic. That's
also it breaks the fourth wall
all the time. And it looks like the movie's doing all that.
And like that's one of the charming things about Deadpool, I guess.
Yeah.
One thought or concern I have with Deadpool is the
movie or the character.
The movie. It works fine in the comics, but is the fact that he's kind of immortal. Like it's hard to kill Deadpool.
Yeah, I mean,
I feel like it's gonna have that One Punch Man kind of thing where it's just like.
Yeah,
characters kind of.
It's going to be basically what power the main villain has, which we really don't know anything about.
Silver Guy,
Ajax, I think.
Well, no, Silver Guy is Colossus. He's an X-Men.
Yeah, but the main villain's like Ajax.
The cleaning thing.
Yeah, it's stronger than grease.
Abraxo.
Yeah,
Abraxo cleaner. Get your fiberglass.
But the cast looks great. And I think a lot of people are thinking this movie is going to be really financially successful because the budget on it's only like $45 million, which
only $45 million
for a superhero movie.
That's really low.
Yeah.
And
Deadpool has a cult following already.
Yeah, and the marketing, people who don't know about it, the marketing's been really well done. Like there's that Halloween video they put out, where he's basically just taunting a bunch of children in X-Men costumes, which is hysterical.
They're hitting Deadpool
I mean the beats have been really good with marketing. I am excited to see the movie. I'm hoping we're not getting too much of the best parts of it in the trailer. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because they're showcasing a lot of good stuff in the trailers.
They have. So I mean, all we can hope is that that's just the tip of the iceberg. Yeah. But the trailer itself was really well put together. It's doing its job, making me excited for the movie. So I mean, I could say I'm pretty happy with it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It is confirmed that it's building off the X-Men universe.
It is in the X-Men universe, although it's
what part of it?
They said it's in the X-Men universe, clearly because you have Colossus in there.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't think it's good. I doubt you're ever going to see Deadpool out of that rated R setting.
That's true, but let's think.
Can't do
is
it.
You have to bleep half the things he says.
Yeah.
And I don't know if
that's what that Spider-Man game, Shattered Dimensions, from a few years, a great game, but they had to bleep. Every other word that man said was bleeped. It was like an episode of the Boondocks.
And so I think what it's going to be you'll be able to see X-Men characters in Deadpool, but I doubt you'll see Deadpool in an X-Men movie.
Yeah.
But will it take place post Days of Future Past?
It's more modern day.
But
they haven't said.
It's so weird.
What is a Days of Future Past? What that title alone?
It's a really
the X-Men. The X-Men timeline is we could talk about that for an
it's
hour.
It's
true. But I'm curious as to because Apocalypse is coming, X-Men Apocalypse,
right?
And
that takes place in the 80s.
Yeah, it takes place in the 80s. But the problem with X-Men Apocalypse is that
Apocalypse took place in the 80s.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you can say that on some levels.
Everything that happened in that movie is taking place before the resolution at the end of the last one.
Yeah.
So does it actually matter?
Exactly.
What happens
at the end of X-Men Days of Future Past? They walk in and everyone's alive again.
Guys.
Wolverine's like, oh, it's that what's her name?
It's all about
Jean Grey.
Yeah, he's all like,
hands off my girl.
Yeah, exactly. There's all that, and now they're trying to make a dramatic movie that takes place before that.
Yeah, it's a little odd.
Money.
Oh, Greyson.
No. See, most people aren't going to give a crap about that. They're going to go see it the X-Men. And
X-Men
they're wearing maybe they're going to wear the yellow jumpsuits, and maybe Wolverine will actually wear his costume for once.
That never happened.
They show it at the end of The Wolverine. Literally, he opens a box, the costumes are there, that just cuts away, and just left unsatisfied. But I think we can all agree we're really excited.
It's a good direction, I think, for the superhero movies to move in, especially with, and I'm going to be honest, my thoughts on Marvel, real quick. I've just been thinking about it.
Now, Marvel doesn't own the rights to Deadpool.
I know, but if you think about the Marvel universe that I guess Disney's working with,
right.
Cinematic Universe, or whatever it's called, it's just that I feel like they're following the bad trends of the comic books to a degree, and that
where nothing makes sense anymore.
Nothing makes sense anymore, and they just throw all these characters into one setting, and they're like, oh,
let's make different versions of different characters, like Spider-Man, and then the other Spider-Man.
Oh, and don't forget Tobey Maguire.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting Spider-Man is going to be in Civil War. New actor and everything.
That's just, it's fine, but...
See, the thing is, I'm both excited for that because it's if I can see Spider-Man interact with people but at the same time, it's so crowded. And it all takes place New York City.
All of it.
At least DC has, a lot of cities.
Gotham.
Gotham, Metropolis.
Gotham's isn't Gotham near New York?
What they're doing actually for Batman vs Superman is that they're making Gotham and Metropolis kind of like sister cities, where one's the more crappy rundown, which would be Gotham.
So that would explain why Gotham was hit in some of the attacks, and why what's his face? Who's playing Batman?
Ben Affleck's playing Batman.
I still think he looks pretty good.
He looks great.
Nick Cage Superman.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? That's the best thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah, but see, you make that point. And that's another reason why I'm kind of both excited and nervous about a DC cinematic universe, because we're going to see, these characters we haven't seen together on screen before, which is exciting, and we're going to see, a more darker, I don't want to use the term realistic, but I guess it's a little bit more grounded in a way. As grounded as a superhero movie can be, I feel like the DC universe is a little bit more grounded. So we're going to see that take, but at the same time, they're starting out with a bunch of characters of Batman Superman. Because Aquaman's confirmed to make a cameo.
Great.
Cyborg's confirmed to make a cameo. Wonder Woman is an important... We're not sure about the size of her part, but she's an important part of the
movie. She's in the trailer.
She's in the trailer. So, I mean... I don't know. Batman Superman is one of the most anticipated movies of next year, but at the same time, I'm also nervous about it. Because if it sucks... If that movie sucks...
Yeah, rip DC.
Rip DC. Well, now Suicide Squad's also really
Okay, that'll probably be cool.
I'm kind of excited for Suicide
Yeah.
Squad. But we'll get in that like with our most anticipated and stuff. Okay, so our next big topic to talk about is that, speaking of Marvel, they revealed Benedict Cumberbatch's look as Doctor Strange in the Entertainment Weekly, I believe.
Bamblefrang Dindersnatch. My favorite actor, actually. He was Sherlock Holmes that one time.
And he was also Kang in Star Trek.
Kang?
Into Blackness.
Kang.
No.
Well, I'm imagining Donkey Kong's face over Khan.
Yeah, but no, he was marketed as he's definitely not Khan, and then he was Khan.
Yeah,
which I thought was fine, but still, yeah. So Benedict Cumberbatch is Doctor Strange. That movie's coming out next November. Actually, this November. We're in 2016.
Yeah, we're in 2016.
November 2016. Sometime then. They got a horror director to do it.
Is Shuma Gorath gonna be in it?
They have it confirmed.
Is Dormammu gonna be in it? Oh man,
Dormammu. It wouldn't surprise me if he was.
Yeah, he would be a sick villain.
God, what's Baron? Not Baron. The Count.
Dooku.
No. There's some big Doctor Strange villain.
Killing the mannequin.
Baron Mordo.
I don't remember him.
Or something like that.
Do it.
But Doctor Strange revealed, and it's pretty comic faithful, like with the hair.
He looks pretty good.
He looks good. I think he looks good.
That entire movie looks good.
He's part of Wave. What is this? 3?
We're in Phase 3. Yes.
Okay, so that's Ant-Man.
No, Ant-Man actually technically was in the end of Phase 3.
Okay, so this is Doctor Strange. Black Panther is going to be
Civil War. Civil War's kicking it off. So we have Civil War, Doctor Strange, Black Panther, Spider-Man.
There's all the new Netflix stuff. Jessica Jones.
Those were both Phase. Jessica Jones was Phase 3, but Daredevil Season 1 was Phase 3.
Are they still going to do? Is it going to be Luke Cage or Power Man?
Luke Cage is next.
But is it going to be Power Man?
It's Luke Cage.
No, I kind of like Power Man.
I know.
Power Man.
That's Iron Fist, and they're going to
Is
do
that the guy from the Goofy movie?
No.
That's the guy from the.
What's the guy from the Goofy movie?
Powerline.
Powerline. Stand out
above the crowd.
Shout out loud. But I think Captain Marvel's gonna be Phase 3, and then they're doing Avengers.
Yeah, I keep forgetting they're making a movie about her. That would be
cool. And then Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Yeah,
of course, Thor Ragnarok, and Hulk is confirmed to be in Thor Ragnarok as the second main character.
Is it gonna? Okay.
Hulk angry.
So it's probably gonna have a little bit of Planet Hulk in it.
A little bit of Planet Hulk.
A little bit of Planet Hulk. But
that's so can you just see how massive this movie continuity is getting?
Huge.
It's scary.
And Doctor Strange is introducing a whole new realm with the mystical side.
Yeah, exactly. This is so.
It's From what we know about that movie, it's going to be really trippy and very, very horror influenced.
Well, that's fine by
me. It looks pretty cool.
Because they got Scott Derrickson to direct it, and he did. It was the first. I think it was the first Insidious movie. I think he did.
Scott Derrickson.
Yeah, I think that was it. That sounds right.
I'm gonna check.
Check that for me. But the look itself, I think looks really, really.
They
cool.
nailed Doctor Strange.
Oh yeah, he looks like Doctor Strange.
He did Sinister.
The
first Sinister,
was really good.
which is okay. The second one's terrible.
Mm-hmm.
But for an okay horror movie is like a gem these days. So
true.
Yeah.
He also did Hellraiser Inferno.
Ooh, cool.
Yeah,
Hellraiser's got some pretty interesting visuals.
I'm gonna teach you how to flip Hellraiser. Moving on.
So Grayson, what do you think of the Doctor Strange look?
Doctor Strange look, I think it's great. Doctor Strange, just that entire movie looks fantastic to me. I really like how they're adding elements of horror into a superhero movie, which really hasn't been done besides Daredevil in 2000
and kind of Blade.
Yeah.
I mean, I think if there's any character that Marvel can use to introduce that horror element, it's Doctor Strange. And if you ask me, comic book wise, I think DC does better with more horror based comics. Like you have Justice League Dark, Constantine, Sandman, which is fantastic.
DC's a darker.
It's a darker universe overall, but I think that. It's a really awesome, cool direction.
Yeah, and it'll probably this will be one of the closest to Lovecraftian things we've had.
Yeah,
in movies in a long time because cosmicism, all that. So I think I think it has potential to be probably one of the most unique superhero movies.
Yeah, I mean it's just looking really cool, and the cast looks really great.
It seems that Marvel's doing their best, or I mean, this might just be a small trend, but in their not bigger movies, like Avengers and stuff, the new Captain America movies, all that, people are sort of like waning away from. The best praise for Captain America 2 was the fight choreography, which was insanely good.
I love Captain America 2. I really like it.
But then movies like Guardians of the Galaxy come out and people lose their minds.
And then, yeah, because it was different.
And then Ant-Man came out and people were like, Ant-Man. And then they watched it, they were like, that was actually really creative and cool.
They're like experimenting with the lesser name.
Because that was more of a heist film. Like they're like fitting a superhero movie into different genres.
Ocean 11.
And actually, what they're doing with Spider-Man is they're actually trying to make it more like a John Hughes type, like 80s teen comedy, which
I mean, you've already made 2 series. Do whatever you want.
Might as well make it. I just hope it's fun.
Yeah.
Like, I want it to be fun and funny.
Could it be as fun, though, as Spider-Man 3's dark Peter Parker scenes?
I don't know. I think
that's really fun.
With the music and him walking down the street.
Yeah, he's just like, and then like when he's in the dance club,
he like starts screaming at someone through a door.
Tobey Maguire. He had to have had the time of his life doing that.
Oh no, that would have been great. Okay, so now for some video game news. There also hasn't been a lot of video game news, but Square Enix did announce that Final Fantasy IX, which was originally for the PlayStation 1, and is actually a lot of people consider that to be the best Final Fantasy game. I've only played it like for an hour.
Oh, that's true.
At your house.
A bit of context on this. The other day, Price, I was like, Price, come with me. I need to buy another PlayStation 2 controller. And Price was like, yeah, sure.
DualShock 2.
We go to this thrift store in town called Helping Hands, and we go in there. And
they have a lot of video games.
They do. They have a lot. And Price was talking about Final Fantasy. He's like, Final Fantasy VII when he saw it, because we make fun of Cloud a lot.
It's a good game. I mean, it's a good game.
The
Grayson hates it.
Uh-oh. But we're in there, and Price is like, dude, it's Final Fantasy IX. It's the only one I haven't played. It's like $20.
I haven't played it either, but I don't really want to play it.
So they stole it.
So we mugged the guy behind the counter, and we ran out of there with all of his
We bought it.
There was a Rob in there, too. I asked him, I'm like, how much for that Rob? He's like, that's my Rob. I was like, okay.
The thing is, okay, so we literally buy this, and then yesterday I'm looking at it, and then Square Enix is like, Final Fantasy IX is heading to PC on Steam, which is awesome. Yeah. That's where I'm going to play it. And also smartphones, which that is when I found out that 7's also available for smartphones.
That just weirds me out.
I don't know, playing an RPG on a phone is just weird to me. But what do you think of the idea? Let's focus on the computer port. Being able to play Final Fantasy IX, which is considered by me to be a really great, fun.
Yeah, the guy in the store said that if you get past the cartoony atmosphere, it has the darkest story.
Or one of the darker stories, yeah.
And so we played it for about like an hour and a half.
It's really fun.
It was cool. I love the atmosphere. I liked the mechanics.
What is it? The Lunar Knights or whatever it is.
Oh, the Knights of Pluto.
Knights of Pluto.
That was the funniest thing of my entire life.
Yeah, they're literally the only male army members in the entire kingdom, and they all suck.
Yeah,
they just keep falling.
There's just you play at one part. You play as like the captain of the knights, Steiner.
Yeah.
And you're like walking around trying to get your knights together. They're not doing anything. And one guy's like in the library, and you walk up to him, and he's all like, "Captain Steiner, I want to quit the Knights of Pluto. I want to write fantasy novels. I don't want to be a knight." And you're like, "Well, I can't do that right now. We're on duty." And he goes, "Hooray!"
And he runs away.
I was like crying.
Yeah,
that game was hilarious.
That's really fun. But I think overall, they've ported everything else, and they remastered 10, which I really like 10, but
when is 13 going to come out on iOS? That's what I want to know.
You won't play 13 again?
I've never played 13.
You don't have a square button on this.
The game just plays itself.
Yeah, you put the controller down, you come back, and it's like victory. And like,
wow,
what a great story.
And then we have, so 9's coming back. I think that's pretty cool. I mean, it's...
Is 8 on iOS too?
8's on Steam.
I'm just waiting for them to throw them all together.
They did Grayson.
All.
They have thrown all the Final Fantasy characters together.
No, I'm talking about all the games.
Oh, the Final
Fantasy.
They
did a while, like on PS1 came out. They did like a legacy collection and put them all.
No, I'm waiting for the 900 gigabyte download.
1 through
15 games
with both the MMOs too. Final Fantasy.
Both MMOs. I want
only $200.
You have to install for about 3 days.
Final Fantasy: The Master Chief Collection.
You're playing Final Fantasy tactics while you wait, and it's like, I don't know.
Kilimanjaro.
Okay, so we've reached. I think we've reached a good point in the show to talk about stuff from 2015, which, as we all know, just ended
yesterday.
Just ended yesterday by the time we're recording this. So let's talk about what was your favorite movie or / couple of movies of last year, 2015. Greyson, you want to start?
I guess I'll start.
All right.
Okay, so my favorite movies kind of have their phases. I kind of divide them up between the summer and the winter.
Right.
So favorite movie from the summer, without a doubt, was Mad Max Fury Road. It did everything right, and
so good.
The shots in that movie, the fights and the explosions in that movie.
George Miller should be nominated for Best Director.
That
movie was ridiculous.
His use of eye trace, which is a technique where you just get the audience to watch something across the screen to get them to focus on something in the next shot.
Yeah.
Was so great in that movie, and it was one of the most hyped things I've ever seen.
Oh yeah, when we drove away from the theater, we were like, "Oh yes, Mad Max!" Floored it. We were like,
"Do for you, please." And then after I rode the hype of Mad Max into the winter, I didn't really know what to expect, but Creed, which
phenomenal.
I wasn't expecting to be
so
amazing, Rocky spinoff, but it was the best Rocky movie since Rocky 1.
Yeah.
And
Sylvester Stallone, I think, has a shot at the best. Well, I think he could get nominated for Best Supporting.
Yeah, without
actor.
a doubt, which is weird.
Fantastic.
Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah.
Expendables.
Yeah, but yeah, that's my thoughts. Those are my two. I love Star Wars, but it wasn't Creed.
Right. Makes sense.
Where would you go? Would you have a favorite summer, a favorite winter?
Well, my favorite movie is Mad Max that I saw all
Right.
year. I didn't see Creed. I really need to.
It's so good.
Mad Max, I'm a sucker for practical effects in general.
Right.
And oh my goodness, everything about that movie is
they
just
filmed all that on location.
They built the props, the cars since 2000.
Yeah, they've been building those things just to blow them up in that movie.
Yeah, we gonna have fun in about 15 years.
Seriously, it was the story, the acting, the atmosphere. When you're watching Mad Max, you're like, ooh, yeah.
That's really the two big things with Mad Max we need to nail, and they absolutely nailed, are atmosphere and action. And man, did they nail the action.
Yeah.
Those car chases, the explosions.
And it was a great way for new fans to get into the series.
Yeah, yeah.
Because, other fans of Mad Max were like, oh, this is just as cool and crazy as I want.
Yeah.
New fans are like, I'm not that confused.
Another thing that should be praised about it is it didn't have a lot of dialogue. It showed everything.
I think Max himself never talked. And Tom Hardy did a great job as Max. And people was like, we barely had to act. No, he had to act physically and all that kind of stuff. Max hardly talks at all.
He's
barely anybody talks in that movie.
It's not his blood.
Which is really cool because it shows the power of visual storytelling.
Yeah.
And, I think that's awesome. If I had to go, my favorite movies, summer, honestly, are tied actually between Mad Max and Ant-Man. I really loved
Ant-Man was such a pleasant surprise.
I think the thing is, I went in there with honestly really low expectations. I was expecting to be at the very best, another basic Marvel comic movie, and I loved it. It was so funny. The heist element was great. I like how they weren't very successful at it either. And the Yellow Jacket fight was so creative. How they kept shrinking, going up. And there's that gigantic
Thomas the Train.
That
was pretty great.
That was pretty great. I thought it was really good. Of course, what else can we say about Mad Max?
We've kind of covered that.
And then of the winter would be Creed. Creed was. I love boxing movies. I love classic Rocky. And Greyson also Southpaw this year, which is I haven't seen it yet, but I heard you really enjoyed it. But
I did like Southpaw.
Yeah, it's sort of a guilty pleasure movie.
I heard the soundtrack's the best part though.
Without a doubt,
did a good job with songs.
But anyway, Creed, you could take boxing out of that movie and it's just be a great dramatic piece. But I mean, the fight seems so well done. I cared about the characters. I cared about Rocky for the first, for more than I think I really have ever cared about Rocky since, Rocky 1, like you were saying, and it was like a love letter to the city of Philly.
Yeah.
And the soundtrack of that movie was dope. It was...
How did you both say dope like that?
You have John Legend, The Roots, a lot of Meek Mill. I'm not a huge Meek Mill fan, but the way they use the songs really well done.
You got Gambino.
Gambino,
Donald Glover.
Donald Glover. But it's... everything about that movie blew me away. blew me away. I really loved it. So now, what do you see your favorite games of the year?
Someone go first.
Charles.
That's easy money. I always pick two. My two games of this year are definitely, without a doubt, Bloodborne and Fallout 4. Now I know my license to say Bloodborne is one of my favorite games is sort of low because like I made it like an eighth of the way through that game,
Not even.
maybe potentially, and then I was all like, this boss, and like I put it down. I'm like, I'll come back to this later, and then months passed, and my friend Josh was like. Or I guess our friend Josh was like, "Hey, can I borrow the game?" And I was like, "Yeah, dude, borrow Bloodborne." And then like he like went so ham that he beat it in like 2 days and was all like, "Now I know everything about Bloodborne, but now I have become the master." And then he struck me down, but I would become more powerful than he could ever imagine.
Right.
But what I liked about Bloodborne was just how cool the atmosphere was, how well designed it was. Whenever I got mad at that game, I was always like, "Well, it's just me that sucks." And then Fallout 4 was just
Fallout 4.
It's just Fallout 4. It's just everything you wanted. And more. I'm trying to think of other games that could have held a candle to it.
Well,
not Battlefront, unfortunately.
Battlefront's fun.
The hype was so legitimate. The hype was so good. And then I played it, and to be honest, I still play it and have fun with it. But I find myself having more fun with Star Wars Battlefront 2.
I mean, like this year alone, we have some great games coming out. We had, Witcher 3.
Didn't play that one.
Arkham Knight, which I played. I love that game. Bloodborne, Fallout 4. I didn't play Tomb Raider. I haven't played Halo 5.
Halo 5. It's
Just
Call of
Cause.
Duty.
I know our friend Will loves Just Cause, so I'm not sure if
My little brother loves it.
Just Cause is sort of like the big gun boom explosion.
On an island,
Yeah,
parachuting around.
Far Cry?
No, you have a grappling hook.
Oh, okay, so it's not Far Cry. There's no grappling
Don't
hook.
forget Super Mario
A
Maker.
lot better than Far Cry.
Super Mario Maker came out this year.
Super Mario Maker is amazing.
Xenoblade Chronicles X, which I really haven't dived into enough.
I don't know how I feel about it.
MKX came out this year.
Yeah, that's where mine was going.
All right, so Grayson, since we're at that topic,
so we came back to Grayson. Okay, so favorite game that I've put like the most hours and I've put the most work in. It's my baby. It's Mortal Kombat. I've played the crap out of that game, but like it's a fighting game, so it's 2-dimensional. So actually, it's pretty in depth for a fighting game. But in terms of like game making aspect or like not a fighting game, I'd probably give it to Bloodborne. It's not. Bloodborne actually isn't even my favorite game FromSoft has ever made, but the way that they told that story and like all the like the finding out what's happened is just so beautiful, and the game's hard, and it's a fun challenge. Where Charles stopped, I can get to in about 15 minutes now.
Hey, I spent like 2 weeks getting to that point, back at the beginning of the game.
As soon as he stopped, I started speed running to that boss and beating it just to smite him. Spite.
You haven't. I'm not smitten with you yet. Well, that might not be true.
But yeah, I give it to Bloodborne. Fallout was great. I played the crap out of that game too.
Yeah.
But it's FromSoft.
I mean, you gotta pick your game over the others. I mean, Prices is definitely Imagine Baby Designer 3 that came out this year. I have never seen more customizable baby options in my entire life.
Like Baby Elsa butt.
the real game. Or Elsa Baby Back Surgery. That is
realistic Cortana.
By the way, these things that we're talking about are just weird stuff that's been found by our weird friends.
Flash games.
Okay, so my two favorite games would probably have to be, one's a summer release, one's later in the year, and it'd be Arkham Knight in the summer. A lot of people have problems with it. The Batmobile is used too much. I like the Batmobile. I thought it was really well done. It is used. If you scale it back just a bit, I think the game would be just almost perfect. But I love that game. The DLC's been really fun. A lot of people were complaining how expensive the season pass was, but we've gotten 4 large story mission-based DLCs. It's a good amount of content. Still a little pricey, but I can get over it.
You're a little pricey. I'm sorry.
And my second, I haven't played Bloodborne. I just haven't.
He doesn't like those types of games.
I don't like Dark Souls.
Little girl. I'm just kidding, man. To each their own, man. If you like Imagine Baby Designer 3, that's up to you. And the bib colors you can pick, dude. I never thought, when I was designing my Imagine Baby, that I could pick between both rose pink and rose magenta at the same time.
I don't know any of these things.
I don't know what you're talking about. And my second favorite game would be Fallout 4.
It's awful.
I didn't get into Fallout really until like a lot later. I played New Vegas for the first time.
I'm sorry.
2 years ago. I love New Vegas, and I played 3 after that, which I think, 3's a better game, but I think I had more fun playing New Vegas. I don't know, it's weird.
Your first time.
Yeah, but Fallout 4 is just a great. Bethesda did it again, you know.
So you brought up something that I'd like to talk about for a second that I find interesting. Season passes. All of the big games.
The year of the season pass.
It really is. Like it's all like when I opened up Battlefront, it's all like get the Battlefront season pass. I was all like
$50 or $40.
EA has been doing that since Battlefield 3. Actually, no, Battlefield 3 had been out for a year, and then they were like, "Hey, you want a season pass? You want premium? Check this out. $60, you get a little golden badge by your name. You get all the DLC.
All the DLC.
And they've been doing it ever
First
since.
game I remember that actually did season pass was, I think...
Did Halo Reach have a season pass?
No, it was... I can't remember if Black Ops 1 had one, but I know Modern Warfare 3 had a season pass.
I remember.
Well, and they used to not be quite as expensive.
Well, they used to be $40, and what it was is because there was always 4 map packs, and each one was $15, so in the end you ended up saving about $20 overall.
But in reality, if you didn't buy the season pass, you probably weren't going to download all of them anyway, so they still got more money.
Well, see, the big thing with Call of Duty is that if you didn't own all the multiplayer maps, you wouldn't be able to play.
Yeah.
So you kind of needed them, which sucked.
That's great.
Yeah, but a lot of the way season passes work now, is that it's basically you get the season pass and you get some exclusive costumes like a banner, and then that basically promises you the big story DLC they always come out with 3 months after the game releases for free, and then maybe some costumes. I do think Arkham Knight season pass was a little bit more worth the money because you got a lot with that season pass.
That's true.
Excuse me. Assassin's Creed had one. I haven't gotten that. Fallout 4 has one.
Now, how much is Fallout 4's again? I remember looking at
It's
that.
cheaper than most. And I think it's $30.
And thinking to myself, like,
Grayson's gonna look that up.
that's really not that bad of a deal if I want to get the Fallout 4.
Also, Fallout 4 there's so much in that game already.
Yeah, I can't imagine. Like, I think the DLC is gonna be.
Bethesda DLC is always.
It's gonna be good. I mean, and they always come out with like 2 or 3 big.
Oh yeah,
$30.
$30. Yeah, like think Skyrim.
That's kind of worth it.
Dawn Guard almost completely changed the game. And
Yeah.
then, Dragonborn.
I never played Dragonborn.
Ooh, Dragonborn's nuts. Now Hearthfire, not so much.
That was fun though.
It is. Hearthfire is a great addition.
Wasn't it also like $5?
Exactly.
It's cheap.
They came out with some DLC. They're like build houses and
Yeah,
adopt
like,
kids.
yeah.
Cheap.
I think Dawn Guard and Dragonborn were both 15 or 20, and then Hearthfire was like $5.
Yeah.
So
also that was something they thought about after they had already released it. And like, yeah, that'd be a cool thing. Let's make it, sell it for cheap.
That's the important part. And there wasn't a season pass for Skyrim.
no, you had to buy
There was the
them,
Legendary Edition.
which you had to buy later.
Yeah.
Well, Legendary, it just came with the DLC.
And also a lot of games do that now too. Is it like a Game of the Year edition or something like that? That has some of the
complete
DLC.
collection.
Yeah, or that's what they're hypothesizing for the Nintendo NX. Is that they're going to port Smash to it.
That's what I've heard
and
too.
they're going to have like a Smash Brothers Complete Edition that has all the DLC in it.
Plus possibly more DLC later on. I don't know. I would not be. Well, the thing is, speaking of the NX, I'm sure we'll not talk about this very long, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna be backwards compatible because Nintendo always makes it backwards compatible. But I wouldn't be surprised if there was some complete edition that had like an extra couple like more social features or something.
More social
It's really gonna depend.
More Miiverse.
Miiverse Part 2.
It's really honestly gonna depend on what the NX itself brings to it.
It's gonna be about like.
It's either gonna save Nintendo or bury it.
Well, yeah, the Wii.
Definitely the console.
Side of home console. I think they're gonna stay mobile and handheld for.
Yeah, obviously, because they just don't have any competition.
And they make a quality handheld. So.
Oh, absolutely. And the thing about home Nintendo console is that their last generation after the Wii, because the Wii was. I mean, it was made fun of.
Like hotcakes.
It was made fun of a lot. People were like, "Shake a stick," but everyone got a Wii.
Yeah, Nintendo was the family console.
Nintendo did great, and then the Wii U was poorly marketed.
Well, because a lot of people thought it was just like add-on to the Wii.
Oh man,
3DS, the same thing.
The Wii U's a stupid name.
Obviously,
seriously,
Nintendo's terrible.
What if they had named it something else,
not made it just a Wii? Like, you use Wii controllers in it.
Wii 2. I mean, Sony did it. Sony's been doing it. PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, PlayStation... no confusion.
Yeah, we don't even, because the NX obviously isn't going to be the thing's final name.
No, probably not.
What was the name of
Project Cafe was what it was called originally.
And then the Wii was originally called Project Revolution.
The DS was called, Project Nitro or something.
Yeah, they all have cool names.
Why couldn't I have had my Nintendo
Project
Nitro? Project,
cool. Yeah, DS, double screen.
Really?
That's
dual screen.
Dual
what?
Screen, yeah.
And then 3DS is triple the dual screen.
I never knew.
3D.
I never knew that it was double screen. I never put that together. What the heck?
Okay, so now that talk about our favorite stuff of this year, let's quickly go on to not necessarily what was the worst movie you saw, but what was the most disappointing movie and game that you experienced this year.
That would be interesting.
But especially with the movie.
I got my... Okay, we're starting with the movie?
Yeah, let's go most... This isn't necessarily the worst film you've seen, but something that you were really excited to see that just let you down when you saw it in theaters.
Hold up. The Gallows.
Yep, this was coming. This was a long time.
The Gallows is the biggest piece of crap I've ever seen in my life, and I was so excited. I don't know why I was excited, but from the trailer,
the trailers look really good.
The trailer looked scary. It looked like it was kind of a cool idea, some man, a hangman coming around snatching girls up. It's trope in the 80s slasher, but right. A little spin. And it had the balls to market it with Jason has his machete, Freddy has his glove, and Charlie has his noose. So from the start, it's comparing itself to
classic
two icons in the horror industry, and the movie itself was found footage. It was cheaply made. It followed
Blair Witch Project ruined.
Oh no, and the visit. I remember when Greyson and I went to the visit. The movie started, and it was some girl with the camera, and Greyson went, "It's found footage," in the theater.
But yeah, it's found footage. Don't get me wrong, I still like found footage films when they're done right and they're not just done to boost.
I think Chronicle's my favorite found footage film.
Boost the Profits. Blair Witch Project, the first one of its kind.
Yeah, true.
But, so yeah, the Gallows was just following this douchebag as he made fun of everyone for about an hour and a half, and then the scares, there weren't any scares. It was just always someone running loudly or opening a door or I shit you not, falling down. Got its own jump scare.
The sound was the sound of him falling the jump scare?
No. You get the horror movie bass going. It's boom, as this guy's running down the hall.
Oh, somebody's gonna get him behind.
Oh, he's gonna get noosed. He's gonna get noosed, and then he just busts his ass, and it's doom, Metal Gear spotted sound pops up. I was well done, well done.
Oh, then a skeleton popped up.
Yeah, that movie was a disgrace to the genre in general, and I remember after I saw it at 2 a.m., I just wrote out this long rant and sent it to the group chat.
I remember that. I remember we were all what is this?
Yeah, so we were asleep, and then we wake up the next morning and we see
Grayson's written this
dissertation on
it's basically Homer's Odyssey for the Gallows, but yeah, that was my most disappointing movie.
Charles, will be yours. I think you and I might share the same.
I'm trying to think through all the movies I saw this year, and the big ones in my mind. It's going to be Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
Even from Ultron was my favorite Marvel villain, and this is very nitpicky of me to say, but Ultron is up there in the big villains that the Avengers just had a lot of problems with, along with Thanos,
Loki,
Thanatos.
Ultron.
Loki they can beat.
Red Skull, Hydra.
Thanos is very difficult to beat when he has the Infinity Gauntlet. Right. But when Ultron first happened, they're all what do we do? Even the Hulk was all I can't hit this one. So they couldn't beat it up. And so as a kid I was always wow. And Ultron was this super cold robot that was always I will eradicate the human race.
Edward Oedipus complex with Ant-Man.
Yeah, it was just he was so scary because he had no all he had was the concept of violence. Mm-hmm. And so and then this movie came along and I was all okay, I'm ready for this. I'm gonna see this.
The trailer's great.
Ultron looks spooky. I love
James
spooky.
Spader's awesome.
James Spader was great, and he did a good performance, but I don't like him as Ultron. He was a great villain. But he just felt like, and they did it on purpose, he felt like Tony Stark. He reminded me severely of Tony Stark, and that's because, Tony Stark created him.
In the movie,
took on some of his personalities. But it just didn't feel like Ultron. It just felt like this big robot. It didn't feel like something that was literally everywhere that they couldn't defeat. Because the thing about Ultron was like, we deleted it, and he was always like, no, you didn't. I'm literally everywhere.
It's very similar to Brainiac, actually.
Yeah, exactly. And, the movie was sort of boring, and not much really happened.
I think that's the same for me, and I think, look at all those tiny little Ultrons to give the Avengers some cannon fodder.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Obviously, what else are you going to do when you have that many heroes? But, I'm hoping for Infinity War they have something more convincing than, just 1,000 drones.
If they're going to do Infinity War, they better kill some people off. That's what I'm saying. If they're going to make it the last movie, if they're going to close out Marvel...
I think I'd kill Tony Stark.
Yeah, kill Tony. No.
It's gonna restart after Infinity War. There's going to be more... They're not going to stop making them until they start not making money. But
that's true.
But I think if you're going to kill a character or at least severely cripple a character, it's got to be Tony Stark.
No, they're not going to. He's their golden boy.
He is.
He can't keep playing Iron Man. He can't keep playing Iron Man for another 10 years.
They're going to find a way.
Exactly. Well, Chris Hemsworth. No, that's not his name.
Chris Evans.
Yeah, who plays
Captain.
He's trying to get out, right?
No, he actually changed his mind. He's like, no, I'm going to do as long as I can.
Making the money.
Making the money.
Well, yeah.
It's capitalism.
Do you think they're going to kill off Cap? Or kill, making big quotation marks here, kill off Cap in Civil War?
Well, he's confirmed to be in Infinity War, but I think that they might,
they might kill him.
They might kill him off, and then mid-credits he goes, oh my god, he's alive.
It's Jason.
Or something, or maybe Chris Evans' ghost shows up. I don't know.
He becomes one with the Force.
Use the Force, Iron Man.
Shut up.
I don't know.
This is what happens.
Civil War. I'm excited for Civil War, but
I'm excited for Civil War.
The fight,
the scenes look. It looks like a great movie.
I'm excited for Black Panther.
I'm just not sure. I feel like I need to know more about the consequences of why they're fighting.
All you need is Black Panther.
All you need is Black Panther. Spider-Man's gonna be in it too.
What I'm really most excited for is Doctor Strange, Black Panther, Guardians 2, and really, I think we're closing it. Are they ever gonna make a Hawkeye solo movie?
Hawkeye's not a strong enough character to.
I don't think they're gonna make a Black Widow solo movie.
Yeah. Although Scarlett Johansson,
she's been in a lot of the other. She's been in a lot of the other movies.
Yeah, I mean she's the main,
and she's a really good actress.
She's the pretty much the secondary protagonist in Cap 2.
Exactly, and
she's really important in Age of Ultron as well.
She's done a really good job.
Oh, she's fantastic. But I don't think you're ever going to see a Black Widow movie.
It's not in their lineup either.
I think obviously DC is going to be releasing the first big female superhero movie, which will be Wonder Woman, which comes out, I believe, in 2017. 2017, and Marvel's doing Captain Marvel, which is 2018, 2019. So, I
really hope they do something interesting with Captain Marvel. They better. And knowing Disney, if they have the opportunity to make a female...
we're confirming this female Captain Marvel.
If it's a female-centric movie, Disney's they're gonna pull out all the stops. They're gonna try to make it as cool as they can.
Who are they gonna get to play Captain Marvel?
That doesn't necessarily matter as much to me. I just want the story to be
I want Emily Blunt for Captain Marvel.
I want it to be a really, really good movie.
I think it could be awesome. Okay, so... Speaking of, real quick, what is your most anticipated film of 2016? Or maybe your top 2 or 3? Not necessarily explaining why, just kind of list them off real quick.
Gallows 2.
Gallows 2.
Is that really a thing?
No, I'm excited. I'm excited about Rogue One. I'm really
cool.
A Star Wars spinoff movie that's not the Clone Wars.
Takes place right before Episode 4.
I really want to see what they do with that. And Forrest Whitaker's in it, and I love Forrest Whitaker.
He's great.
I love
Won
Forrest
the
Whitaker.
Academy Award for, I believe.
I love Forrest Whitaker.
I know you do because of that song. Anyway, so what else besides that?
I guess for me, I'm really hyped for Civil War and Deadpool.
Yeah, Deadpool's coming out next year. That's
February in 2 months.
Also, I'm just gonna
1 month.
Just gonna hop on the superhero train and say Suicide Squad looks cool because I like DC villains.
Yeah, for me, I'm a huge DC fan. I mean, I love Marvel, I really do. I like a lot of the characters, but if you had to ask me, if you had to pick me, tell me I could only ever read DC comics or Marvel comics, I couldn't read the other one. I'd pick DC. But anyway, I mean, my two most anticipated movies are Batman vs Superman, Dawn of Justice, and Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad.
Now, I mean, am I nervous about Batman vs Superman, Dawn of Justice, Suicide Squad? Of course I am. But that doesn't mean I'm not so excited to see the DC Trinity on screen together.
That's true.
That's awesome. I mean, that's like
that hasn't happened yet.
No, and that's like speaking a little kid in me. Mm-hmm. And then we're gonna get Justice League, which was one of my favorite cartoons as a kid. I mean, like that. I'm so excited for that. But that's probably my most anticipated.
I sort of have a Black Sheep movie that I'm excited about, and I'm really nervous about it. But the effects. I don't know. Whenever I see the trailer, I'm like,
"Is that Gods of Egypt?"
It's
movie?
Gods of Egypt. Yeah. Well, I looked at Gods of Egypt and I was all like, "Gods of Egypt, yes!" And so I saw the trailer and I'm like, "Where are the Egyptian people? These are all just muscular, beautiful white people."
Oh, white people.
Yeah, they're all. I'm all like, "There's no Egyptians in this movie." And then I saw the special effects. I was all like, "Oh, well, that's pretty cool."
It's gonna be cool to watch.
My major complaint with what I've seen from those trailers: effects are great. Could they have spent more money on the backgrounds, please?
Yeah,
please.
It does look a little like
flat pyramids, watercolor.
The giant, but like they're like golden Egyptian armor flying around. I'm all like, this looks like something out of Killer Instinct.
And like the wings.
Yeah, I wanna see what they do with it.
And what would be most anticipated game of next year?
Dark Souls 3 for you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, Dark Souls 3. That's what I thought it would be for Greyson.
What about you?
I haven't seen a thing about it, but...
well, I actually have quite a few. I guess...
Give me a 3.
Okay, 3, it's going to be the new Legend of Zelda game, because that's just my life.
Oh, are we actually going to get it, or are they going to snatch it away from us
as far as we know, it's coming out.
Greyson makes the good point.
It's going to be a golden snitch. It's just...
I'll tie Twilight Princess HD into that just in case it doesn't come out next year.
That comes out in like February.
Yeah,
they might just move that one away too.
Yeah. They're like, we're like the pig, and they have the like scrap on the fishing pole. They're riding us.
They put Sakurai in charge of like releasing games.
Oh boy,
please take a look.
Well, and let me see. Kingdom Hearts 3, because I'm.
Is that next year? They haven't confirmed.
They haven't confirmed that, but it's the only guess I can make. And then my last one. Well, okay, so it's a tie. I know there are pretty much 4 games I'm excited for, and that's Zelda, Kingdom Hearts 3, and then Persona 5 I'm super hyped for, and Final Fantasy 15 I'm super hyped for.
Yeah, for me, I think I'm going to have to go with Final Fantasy 15, of course, Legend of Zelda U, whatever they're calling it. I don't think that's going to be the final title.
Zoo.
Yeah, so Zelda U.
Lazu.
I think No Man's Sky is coming out next year.
Oh, yeah. Star Citizen's not till 17, though, right?
I think it's 17.
The game's going to be
Star Citizen's going to be so good.
And then, if Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out next year, then I'm going to try...
No Persona love? No Persona?
Here's the thing. I am really excited for Persona 5. However, I've never actually played a main Persona series game, so unlike you, so you have a little more going into it.
I played Arena.
I played Arena and Arena Ultimax, and I played a little bit of Q, whatever Persona.
Mystery of the Labyrinth, yeah. That one you really kind of need to know about 3 and 4.
Well, I know the story of 4 because of Arena.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, so... But yeah, that'd be my most anticipated games. So, last thing we're going to talk about is Star Wars.
What's up?
You know Star Wars. Anyway, so we all know Star Wars slowly becoming, or not slowly, but rapidly becoming one of the most profitable movies ever.
It's relevant again.
It's relevant.
Significantly.
It's relevant again. It's a lot of people are thinking it's back since 1983. I personally like Revenge of the Sith a lot. You're probably going to kill me for that, but whatever.
Don't worry. I like episode 2.
Oh boy, Greyson, watch out.
Yoda's fight.
Oh yeah, that part's great. But I mean, for a lot of people, Star Wars is truly back since '83, and so we all saw the movie. I mean, I think we all really liked it. There's problems with it.
Obviously,
there's problems with every Star Wars movie. Empire Strikes Back is the best, in my opinion, the best Star Wars movie as far as just shot and directed, and has the least amount of flaws in it for me personally. But
Empire Strikes Back and Episode 3 are my 2 favorites. That's me.
I gotta go. My favorite is Empire, New Hope.
Return of the Jedi.
No. Okay. Then Revenge of the Sith. And this is without including Force Awakens, and then Revenge of the Sith, then Return of the Jedi.
I really don't know where to put Force Awakens yet.
Force Awakens for me is right around Revenge of the Sith.
It is.
It's hard to judge it, but
me personally, it was definitely a return to form, almost a bit too much.
That is the
very,
problem.
very echoey, and which, in some way, I think that's probably a good thing because the Star Wars movies always do kind of rhyme. That's what George Lucas say. Like they rhyme, they're like poetry. They kind of follow the same kind of beats. If you look at the prequels, a lot of things are very similar.
It's a sonnet.
It's like a sonnet, yeah. But at that, at the same time, did we need Starkiller Base to be basically big Death Star? Like,
Yeah,
I wish, they could have used Starkiller Base, but why did they have to have, like, a super weapon that blew up everything? Why couldn't it just be, like, one of the main bases that they had to attack?
It's so...
Like, I don't know.
I have an unpopular opinion.
You probably liked it the least out of the three of us.
I probably did. First time I saw it, I loved it. I rode the hype.
Right.
It was a great night. Star Wars in theaters again. Last
When
time that happened.
When that opening crawl starts with the music,
yeah.
you just get like a shiver down your spine, like, oh my god.
And you're like, this is it. This is what I've been waiting for my whole life.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I've received a message from Goofy is drunk
on PlayStation.
Okay, so yeah, but anyway, wake me up inside. But so the first time I rode the hype and it was great, and I enjoyed it. Then I went back and saw it with you guys, and I kind of went back with a harsher mentality, like, I'm going to critique this, kind of like how I go into horror movies, which I should really stop doing. But,
going to horror movies or going in with criticizing?
Both. So, going in, it's still amazing. The special effects are still fantastic, but why are you giving them that look? But, it crawls, and it parallels A New Hope, which I don't even like New Hope that much. I mean, it's the first Star Wars.
True.
You gotta love it, but it's not a good movie.
True.
And it killed me, but yeah, I don't think it's a well-made,
well-written George Lucas's best directed movie is American Graffiti.
Yeah.
Like, absolutely. If you haven't seen that movie, if you haven't seen American Graffiti, like,
it's actually really cool.
It's a great, and it's not a sci-fi movie at all. It's like a teen
episode 8
drama,
of American Graffiti.
Yeah. It's Degrassi,
but like good. But yeah, American Graffiti's great. I think that's his best directed film. I mean, I love A New Hope personally, but I think that like you look what Irvin Kershner did with Episode 5, and just how well that movie's directed. Like Episode 5 is just insane.
Yeah, it's true.
but yeah, I mean, it's
a good movie.
It's a Star Wars movie, so you gotta like it, unless it's Episode 1 or Episode 2 or even Episode 3 if you're really mean.
A lot of people don't like Episode 3. And there's stupid things that I really love Episode 3.
There's too many plot holes, too many parallels to Episode 4, and like as another gripe is character development, which I'm not gonna kill because it's a trilogy.
We got two more movies.
It's a trilogy.
I think a lot of people. I think the way you have to do is when you see a trilogy, like each movie usually follows a 3-act structure. So if you're thinking about it, Episode 7 is really the first act of one gigantic movie.
Yes.
And that's the thing is, it is lacking in some character development. Like Finn, you're probably gonna mention this, but Finn is obviously it's cool. He's horrifying. He's like thinking about doing, and then bam, he's a good guy. But things like that. But at the same time, it also excites me to get to know more about these characters and see them grow more in the next 2 movies.
Obviously, the biggest problems I had was, of course, Greyson mentioned Episode 4 HD Remix 2.5 Square
with more characters.
And BB-8.
And I mean, it's still BB-8
was great.
When BB-8 rolled up to R2-D2, I was all like, oh my goodness, it's the same thing.
Also, did R2-D2 look like gigantic to you, like larger than?
Well, I mean, they had to fit a small person in that, buddy.
I know, but he
What?
looked.
There's an actor in R2-D2.
Yeah,
okay, you looked.
No,
No.
I guess that's when I realized how much smaller BB-8 was in comparison to what R2-D2.
He's just a ferret inside of a ball rolling around.
That explains the sounds. The episode, it's just, I mean, it's cool, and I like, obviously, they were playing it safe. After the prequels,
Yeah, they needed to.
They were like, okay, we'll give you Star Wars. We will give you exactly Star Wars. And people were like, okay. And so the movie is harmless in that regard. It's not groundbreaking, but it's also not. And it's so nice to see CG in Star Wars that looks modern.
Well, plus there's a lot. I mean, like
many practical effects.
Honestly, I think there's really only one scene that just the CG was just so awful, and that was when they're on
Star Killer.
Freighter. No, that big freighter scene with like that weird
alien
monster. Whatever it is,
Velociraptor spelled differently.
Blob thing.
Yeah.
And that was a little, and then Snoke looked really good from kind of a distance when he moved on his face. Like that's definitely motion capture.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Voldemort, is that you?
Is that Lord Voldemort?
Is that you, Voldemort?
But
come back from
you know, I think I'm just hoping that, you know, obviously we're gonna get more development of characters. I'm hoping that they clean up Snoke a little bit. But like, I'm also fascinated by Snoke.
I'm hoping that they clean up a lot. I'm hoping that they really try to flesh out Finn more. Because Finn had cool moments, Finn I liked, but at the same time, I had such a hard time empathizing with him. Because they make this whole point about how the new troopers are like raised...
Taken at birth. Kind of like the Jedi were.
Indoctrinated.
Although not quite as...
More like kamikaze pilots for Japan in World War
II. Yeah, they're trained, they're taught, their whole life is stormtrooper. It's embedded in them. It's human conditioning. I forget the
indoctrination.
Words. Yeah, it's really like nut stuff. And then, you know, he sees something horrifying and he starts, you know, rethinking it. That's cool. That's great. And then he's like, all right, you know, I'm going to get this rebel out of here. Let's go. And then he does not hesitate at all to murder the only friends and people he's ever known. What's his face? Poe Dameron. Poe Dameron's all like...
I want more of him.
Oh, yeah, of Traitor or Poe.
He died, though.
Poe or Traitor?
Poe. Traitor died.
No!
You didn't see Han Solo?
No, Traitor, he was the best.
If you don't know what we're talking about, it's Stormtrooper. It's like, Traitor! And then like that awesome... Like, he throws off his shield.
He's like, everyone...
He was better than, like, okay, like, they were hyping Captain Phasma as being, like, the next, like... Yeah, okay, that's my biggest point, honestly, is the use of Captain Phasma. She didn't do anything.
She literally just walked around.
I'm hoping she does more.
She got held at gunpoint.
Yeah.
Ooh. You know what a trash compactor is? Yeah!
What a horrible way to murder someone, by the way. They're all like, what do we do with Captain Phasma? And Han Solo's like, why don't we crush her to death slowly? And Finn's like, excellent. And they throw her in the trash chute. You can just see her like,
She's going to be a lot thinner after this.
Talk about trimmers.
No, but she's going to be in episode 8, I guarantee it. But anyway, I'm hoping I really hope to see more from her. I loved Kylo Ren and General Hux kind of going back and forth. You know what I mean? I like that.
Kylo Ren's cool. They need to figure out what they're doing with him.
Make him a little. I think obviously he's going to train more with Snoke, and there's gonna be a time gap between 7 and 8. Like it's not gonna start right where because they always have a big time gap. Or actually, it might start right where we meet Luke and.
No, highly doubtful. It's probably gonna start with Finn waking up to some degree.
We'll find out, obviously, but. I think that, really, there's only one, I'm not going to spoil it if you haven't seen it, but there's really only one character, I think, that we saw in Episode 7 that's definitely not going to reappear.
C-3PO.
Yeah.
Big Boss.
C-3PO's left arm.
C-3PO. Star Wars 7, The Phantom Pain.
Well, Kylo, I feel like they were trying so hard to make us hate Kylo, and it's like, he's the bad guy. Don't like him. We're going to make him do this stuff. He's going to hit walls. We don't like him. We don't like Kylo. Kylo's bad. Kylo does this thing. That's a huge spoiler. Kylo's bad. And it's just like, okay, we get it. He's the bad guy. He's praying to Darth Vader. What's the point? He's kind of...
See, I kind of liked it, though, because he's so much... Like if you look at Vader, yes, Vader gets angry and he just kind of chokes people out over the entire course of space for on another starship. But at the same time, he's very calm.
Yeah.
And then you have Palpatine, who... It's really weird, but if you look at Palpatine as a character, he's very calm. You know, he's not like ever noticed that Sith don't lie ever. Jedi lie all the time.
I'm just these are not the Jedi.
Credits will do fine.
Rowdy.
But then you have Kylo Ren, and Kylo Ren doesn't act anything like a traditional Sith. Well, technically, he's not a Sith, but he's obviously the stand-in for it. So I kind of liked it that he was more volatile, more kind of I don't know.
You said edgy.
You said it.
You said that he's edgy.
I meant he's on the edge. But no, I like that.
The thing is, I don't feel like they were trying to make me dislike Kylo Ren. I don't think they were trying to be like, he's the bad guy.
I think somewhat they were trying for us to be a little sympathetic.
I just thought they were trying to make us... what they tried to make us do with him is make us, like, think he's unpredictable. Their goal was to, like, be like, look at this kid. He throws temper tantrums. He's different. I like how he's more angry. I actually kind of like the angst. I know angst is a big problem. I know people make fun of Episode 3 Anakin.
Especially considering, his lineage.
Mm-hmm. But he's just very sort of, I don't know. He looks vulnerable. I think that's cool.
I like the vulnerable. And, I think out of all the characters I'm excited to see where they'll go. Honestly, Kylo Ren is one I'm most excited to see.
I would have been excited for Traitor.
Traitor. Luke, but
why couldn't the Traitor still be here?
Traitor!
He was loyal when everyone else was a traitor.
Not as cool as everyone's making him out to be.
He is the coolest.
That fight scene was great.
Actually, to be honest, the coolest.
Finn gets his tail whooped.
Well, Finn is just sort of swinging around a stick, to be honest.
He's Minecraft PvP.
He's doing his best.
He is. And, a lot of people made fun of Kylo Ren for getting beaten by Finn and Rey.
He was seriously injured at
the end, because they're all like, wow, I can't believe Kylo Ren's supposed to be this crazy lightsaber guy, and he got whooped. But Kylo Ren got shot by the crossbow that Chewbacca was using, and the whole movie, they're, like, trying to show you that the crossbow that Chewbacca has, like, blows people to smithereens.
I like this thing.
Yeah, like, every time they fire it, it's always like, yeah. And so Kylo Ren gets shot, and he's just like, let me hold this in. And he still holds his own against them. Even after Finn, like, slices his shoulder open, he's still beating Rey most of the time.
Yeah,
and then there's that weird scene where they both use the Force, they're clashing, and he's all like, you need a teacher. And, like, Rey's just, like, she closes her eyes and then beats him, and he's like, the Force! And then the ground splits up, and I'm like, what happened? What was that?
Is this stage legal?
This is stage legal.
This stage ban. Alright, well, so I think overall we all really enjoyed the movie, and I think the best thing that Episode 7 did is really get me excited for
Episode 8. Yeah, it gets you primed. You're like, now I'm ready.
Marketing.
Hey, they did it.
Everybody's like, where's no post-credits scene? Like, Star Wars doesn't do post-credits scene.
This isn't a Marvel movie.
But it will be soon, knowing Disney. Disney Infinity 3.0.
Five Nights
Disney
at
Infinity
Freddy's.
5.0 now playing as Sonic. Get her card.
We're taking over.
Alright, well, I think that's going to do it for today. This was probably longer than the average was going to be. We're a little over an hour, actually. Wow. So, I want to thank my good friends, Charles and Grayson here. Where can they find you on social media, Twitter and stuff?
I guess we can shout out the Bit Pact here.
We can do a shout out. We have a kind of collaboration gaming channel as well.
Yeah, it's on a bit of hiatus right now.
Bit of a hiatus, just due to time constraints and a bunch of other things.
I still post things.
Grayson does still post things if you like watching Mortal Kombat X. So follow the Bit Pact on or subscribe, I guess I say, to the Bit Pact on YouTube. On YouTube, the station here will be. You can obviously catch it here on iTunes. As well as it'll be uploaded. You'll be able to catch it first on iTunes, and then it'll be uploaded later on YouTube. So subscribe to the station on YouTube, just the station. You should be able to find it. Nice. Okay. Grayson, where can they find you on Twitter?
Twitter, my handle, is that what they call it? Is at snailmail. That's like a snail, and then mail 27.
But mail as in the postage.
Yes, the postage.
Not the gender he identifies.
It was 8th grade. I don't understand, but yeah, snail mail 27. Feel free to shout out, call me Snail, send me weird anime links like Charles does.
Wink.
So and then
if you want to find me, I'm also on Twitter. I'm at the letter Painter307. Follow me for updates on the latest in Victoria's Secret fashion shows. That's what I mostly watch. And and my other Twitter handle is at LonelyDad22. You can find me there.
None of us are fathers, by the way. You can also.
If there is a Lonely Dad 22, it's not me. I'm gonna check right now.
But anyway, yeah, Charles is also on the bit. We have a lot of friends on there. And, this show itself, I'm probably going to be the one that's on here the most often. But Charles and Greyson are going to be back for episodes. We have other friends that I'll be on as well. So you can find me on Twitter.
Dad 23.
Oh, there's a lovely Dad 23. Nice.
You can find me on Twitter, just at Price Everett. So yeah, come check us out. I'll be updating this, and soon we'll be able to actually get the station Twitter, hopefully, and we'll let you know about that. Probably by the next episode, I'll be able to update you on the station's itself's social media pages. So yeah, thanks again for tuning in. This was the Station Show episode 1, and we appreciate you listening to us. So tune in next time.
Bye-bye.
Peace.